Hi everyone, welcome back to another video tutorial. In this video, I will be showing you how to draw a pair of eyes. We're going to start with a reference photo, and what I'm doing right now is I'm gauging the space that the whole eye socket is taking up. Notice I'm using straight, direct lines. I'm not trying to outline everything perfectly. I'm not trying to do any round shapes. I'm using a lot of boxes and triangles and quick lines to kind of build the architecture of the eye sockets. When it comes to eyebrows, you're going to want the eyebrow to start just a little bit past the tear duct and end a little bit past the end of the eyeball. The arch is if you get a straight line and put it at a 45-degree angle against the pupil, that's generally where the arch should be. Once I'm done doing all of those straight lines, that's when I start to round things out. When you use more angular shapes to build the structure of something, that helps you to create more fluid curved lines that are generally more accurate. I'm doing relatively harsher outlines right now because I will be lowering the opacity of this layer, and I will be drawing a second layer over it that will just be the shading, but the transparent harsh lined sketch underneath will still show through, so I know where I'm shading still. If you're using graphite or something similar to follow along, just erase some of it away, or if you're using a pen, just start really lightly or with a very thin pen so that when you do more of the shading and lines over that, it kind of just blends together. So right now I'm just looking at the pair of eyes and looking at the most diluted shadows in the most general areas. So generally speaking, the irises are darker and the eyelid folds are darker as well. There's also some shading underneath the eyebrow near the center where the nose bridge meets. If you're using charcoal or pencil rather than digital right here, I would recommend using your eraser a lot and a smudge stick to try and help blend these subtle shadows together. Underneath the iris, you can see more shading around the edges of the iris and where the eyeball is shaded from the eyelashes. I'm also adding more definition at the lash line and slowly starting to create deeper shadows and value to this piece. Right now I'm using an even darker color with a harsher brush that's a little bit smaller, and I'm just enhancing any of the folds or crisp shadows that there are around the eye, in the tear duct, the eyelid fold, eyelashes, and other areas like that. I'm also enhancing the shadow that is cast onto the eyeball from the eyelashes. To create the illusion of the strands inside of an iris, I'm starting with larger strokes that are from the outside of the iris going towards the pupil. We will slowly work on the gradient to make it look more natural later. Right now I'm adding darker eyelashes to heighten the contrast just a bit more. And right now I'm getting in with a smudge tool on Photoshop and kind of weaving in the white with the gray to give the illusion of eyebrow hairs that have light due to the sunlight. It's also important to know that eyeballs are spheres. So around the corners of the eyes are going to be more shadows kind of curved around it. You're going to want to keep the centers generally brighter to give the illusion of a round shape. Adding more shading in the iris, a little bit more hairs on the eyebrows. And now I'm going in with the smudge tool and I'm smudging in more of those lines to create the illusion of the iris fibers. At this stage, I'm adding some highlights. I'm creating a highlight around the waterline to give the illusion of moisture, as well as inside the tear duct and along the lower lash line. I also included a halo type glare on the eyeballs. On the highlights on the irises, I'm also kind of painting in some more texture from the eyelashes. This just gives an illusion of the eyelashes being reflected onto the eyeball. And that is how I created these eyes. In the next video, I'll show you how I created the water and the tear. See ya! Bye!